camera's all screwed up. Hey, we're live. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And before we get into the live stream or next video, depending on what time you watch it, remember, if you like the information and content of the channel, please hit that subscribe button, click on that little bell icon. That way you get notified when I post new videos, or you get that little watermark picture of me and my beautiful wife down in the corner. That'll get you subscribed to. That being said, changes are among us. Uber literally overnight decided to go back to, from what I understand, its kind of its roots pay structure. So I was watching a couple other videos today, and I actually got an email. And let me start out, before I get into the email, with a couple of screenshots of what happened in my area today, because I thought it was quite impressive. So this is in LA County, but it's still Los Angeles. And if you guys can see that, I'll be damned. Looks like multipliers to me on Uber. And then the next one. So literally overnight, Uber switched from the flat rate surge to the multiplier again. I personally like the multiplier in my market because travel times and drive times are, they're quite some distance, and the multiplier, if it's 2x, you're getting, instead of 60 cents a mile, you're getting $1.80 a mile, and so on and so forth. So in my market out here in the Antelope Valley, Southern California, Palmdale, Lancaster area, it's I prefer the multiplier over the flat rate surge. So anyway, like the screenshot, this is what I got in my app. A simpler picture of your earnings, and it shows right there at the very bottom your earnings and UberX. So basically, Uber is paying the drivers 75% of the fare, and they're only keeping 25% of the fare, with the exception of the I do believe it was the Lux and all of this stuff. I think it's 28%. So wow, I mean, I'm sure this is going to impact a lot of people. Well, that being said, we're gonna break this down. So grab a seat, grab a drink. If you're in your car, turn on that heater. I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but I'm not gonna tear it apart too much. So anyway, this is what it says: a simpler picture of your earnings. When you drive with Uber, your earnings come from riders. From these earnings, you pay a service fee to Uber for using our technology platform. Now there they go again. They're a technology company. We're now capping that fee at 25% of the trip on trip fare on UberX trips. Always see the service fee up front. So apparently they're still doing their upfront service pricing. In addition to the fare estimate, you'll soon be able to see Uber services fee displayed directly on your trip's offer card and receipt. Other upcoming changes: surge is multipliers instead of added dollar amounts. Surge pricing will now be calculated as multipliers of the trip fare. These multipliers, which will be shown on your map, will reflect the higher rate riders pay when demand is high. Exact fares for Uber Pool trips. Now, every trip you take with Uber Pool will show your exact earnings up front, including fares for every additional pickup added to your route. Question: boost promotions where available. Promotions will soon let you earn lower service fees. Basically, if you're getting charged 20% service fee, it'll be 10% or something like that. And of course, we got the Learn More button. So let's see what we're going to learn right now. All right, so this is on the Uber blog. To California drivers, keeping you in the driver's seat, part 2. Last month, in response to a new law in California, and by the way, for those that are watching, I am in California. So obviously AB-5 is what the big issue is here. And I'm kind of on the fence with AB-5. I don't want to be an employee for Uber or Lyft. I like having my freedom. I have read the AB-5 bill, not in depth. It's not exactly what a lot of drivers think it is, but it does have it's flawed. And of course, on December 30th, and the Rideshare Professor. If you guys don't watch the Rideshare Professor, check out his channel. The Rideshare Professor hit the nail on the head with this one when he said that Uber and Lyft were going to wait till the end of the year and file a lawsuit last minute. Well, Uber did. They filed a lawsuit. So AB-5 is not in effect yet, and I'm thinking that's why these overnight changes happen. Is it's Uber's way of trying to keep the drivers from wanting AB-5 and maybe going, hey, you know what, we would like to, keep this at 75/25, and all of our earnings are going to go up, and so on and so forth. My hesitation with that is, okay, it's a good idea now, but is it permanent? I'm going to say no. So I'm thinking the only reason they did this now is to twist the drivers' thoughts on AB-5 a little bit and go, hey, you know what, we are better off if Uber stays with the 75/25, meaning 75% of the drivers, 25% that they get to keep. Which, if they'd have done this last year, back after we started having all these rallies and protests in March, they wouldn't even be in court. So I do think it's a little awkward for them to do this right now, because again, AB-5 is now in the Supreme Court. It's under litigation, so to speak, and because it's being fought, it can't go into effect yet. And it was a good move on Uber's part, but it's sneaky. And again, I don't think that what they're giving us now is going to stay in effect, depending on what the court decides is going to happen. And in my personal opinion, because again, I am in California, I don't think they're going to win AB-5. I just think that this is just a temporary thing, so don't get used to it. So again, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to read exactly what they sent me on my phone, and I'm sure a lot of other drivers do this too. And I'm going to go out. I'm going to run actually both platforms tonight. I want to see what Lyft has done, because I haven't seen anything on Lyft, with the exception that Lyft says they're cutting their drive time hours from 14 hours to 12 hours. Well, in California, you can only drive 12 hours maximum, period. So if they were allowing us to drive 14 hours, they were over in the state of California, they were over the time allotment for driving anyway by 2 hours. So dropping it back down to 12 hours is basically the state law. If you drive a big rig, you're allowed to drive 12 hours a day. You can drive for 8 hours. You have to have a 2-hour break in between. Then you could drive an additional 4 hours, and then your day's over. And you have to log all that. So with that being said, let's get into what Uber is telling us. Last month, in response to new law in California, we announced changes to protect and enhance your ability to work flexibly and on your own terms. Last month, they announced changes. All I know is last month they said they were going to file. Hey, Lisa, thanks for showing up. Rick Reviews, what's up? Dark Road Run, how you doing? Hey, what's up? What's up, Gaming Noob? Good to have you back. Thank you guys for joining. So back to the email, and this thing is huge. So I'm gonna try to skim over it, and then we'll break it down just a little bit. So as a first step, all California drivers now see estimated trip earnings and destination upfront before accepting a trip. I like that. Now, of course, we're going to get, those people that are going to go, oh, well, drivers are going to cherry pick and they're only going to take long rides, or they're only going to take short rides. Well, there's a ton of drivers out there. I mean, in the state of California, Lyft alone has over 460,000 drivers just in the state of California, and that's Lyft. Uber, I would say, is probably at least double that. So you're talking 900 and almost 1 million drivers for Uber. So, I like that idea. I personally take pretty much anything. And with that, with this change, it's going to be interesting to see, because Uber in my market was paying for long pickup fees, and they were paying 60 cents a mile. I think it was anything over 4 or 5 miles to the pickup location, and then once the passenger was in your car, it was 60 cents a mile. So they were paying for those dead miles on those long pickups the same amount as they would if there was actually a passenger in your car. That was kind of a nice little motivational thing. And I'm thinking maybe that's one of the things they were talking about is, changes for last month. So let's continue on. California drivers now see estimated earnings and trip destinations upfront before accepting the trip. Well, a lot of people don't want to do long trips. A lot of people want to stay within their local market, and they just want to do the short trips and get their ride counts up and get their, go for the diamond status and all that other stuff. Whereas other drivers may prefer to do the long trips. I personally enjoy the long trips, especially in surge. So, but the rides are going to be picked up. Everybody's got their niche, and like I said, some drivers want the short trips, other drivers want the long trips. And what's up, Donnie? COM. And to have somebody say, well, people are going to cherry pick. Let them cherry pick. The passenger is still going to get a ride. Okay. So let's continue on. As a next step, we are simplifying our fare structure to further clarify the relationship between you and your riders and Uber's role as a technology platform. And there you go again. Uber is slapped the drivers in the face enough already by saying, we're a technology company and the drivers are not the backbone of the company. I'm going to call bullshit on that one because of these changes right here. Okay. You're saying the drivers are not the backbone of your company, yet you're making these massive changes that literally happened overnight to keep drivers happy. Yet you're still calling yourself a technology company, and we're using it, Woo! Way to go, Uber. You guys are just all over the map. Okay, so while time and distance rates have not changed, so if I'm at 60 cents a mile, then I'm still at 60 cents a mile. Some of these changes, especially those we've made to promotions, may take some time to get used to. I'm not one that's into chasing promotions anyway. So, if I happen to get lucky and catch, 3 rides for, the consecutive ride bonus. You do 3 rides, we'll give you six extra dollars. I mean, that's where some of the drivers like to do the short calls and so on and so forth. I'll check in the chat in a minute. I really want to get through this. I know you guys want to get out and work. So what's changing? Here's a screenshot of what they're saying. So let me read it, and it's saying it's an Uber X request. It's going to pay $13 to $15 after the 25% service fee. So it's telling me that if I pick up this particular passenger, I'm going to make between $13 and $15. And it's telling me it looks like the total ride is going to be 17 minutes, and the passenger is 2.3 miles away from me. So let me roll this up a little bit and check it out. Let's see if I can get this to focus or not. Hopefully it'll work. I'm really sorry about that. I really do need to get another camera. So there you go. I'm really trying to get this to focus, guys. I'm sorry. But it's $13 to $15 is what you're going to get after the $25, the 25% fee. And it's obviously not going to focus. So it is what it is. I apologize. Okay, so James Campbell in the house. Thank you. All right, so moving forward. The service fee that you pay to Uber won't exceed 25% for Uber X trips. It will not exceed 25% for Uber X trips. Oh, now it's in focus. Let's see if I can scroll this. There you go. Can you guys see that? So hopefully, so it's showing you that's what you're going to make on the ride. The ride itself is going to take a total of 17 minutes, and your passenger is 2.3 miles away. So that's kind of nice. I like that idea. Starting this week, Uber service fee on UberX trips in California won't be more than 25% of the trip fare and will be shown in advance on your offer card. I don't know what an offer card is. The final trip fare will be calculated at the end of the trip, and it will be based on the actual time and distance of the trip. Your trip receipt will show the trip fare, Uber's service fee calculation, and your take-home earnings. And as a side note, a 28% Uber service fee will be applied to all XL, Comfort, SUV, and luxury trips. And I'm just putting this out there so everybody can see this, because now, if Uber decides to go back on whatever the hell they're saying, guess what, Uber? It's on the internet now. And again, it's showing their version of the surge and so on and so forth. Okay, so moving forward, trips with surge will now be calculated as multipliers of the trip fare. During busy times and in busy places where a lot of riders are requesting trips, your maps will now show surge multipliers instead of fixed dollar amounts. For trips beginning in these zones, you'll earn a multiplier of the trip fare, which will be included in the estimated earnings range on your offer card. So basically, if I'm picking up a call in a surge area that's now a multiplier, and let's say it's 2.1x, instead of being a basic $10 fare, it should say that I'm getting $32 or whatever it is, because it's 2.5 times more than the normal rate, or whatever the case may be. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. And unfortunately, in my market tonight, I probably won't see any Uber surges, because everybody is going to be out there doing Uber to get that, because obviously now Uber's paying more than Lyft, in my opinion. If they're doing this change, Uber is definitely going to be paying more than Lyft. So I may do a little more Lyft tonight than Uber, just to see if I can, see what happens, based on demand. Okay, so moving forward. Oh, here's an interesting one. Oh, in case it has to reroute, it says that the rider added $3.75 for the trip. Now, from what I see, 2.3 miles, that's the same as the other one. But I guess because it was rerouted, they had to add an additional $3.25. So off ramps get closed, traffic, what have you. Okay, pool trips. On pool trips, you'll see the exact amount you'll earn for every completed pickup before you start the trip. Okay, there it is. I'm putting this all out there because, again, if Uber is going to do anything stupid, well, there's one video from the Rideshare Trickster that's going to show everything that they're telling us, and hopefully they'll stick to it. So moving forward again, unlike the estimated range you'll see on UberX trips, your offer card, I'm assuming the offer card must be the ride request. Your offer card, oh man, hold on, sorry. Every time a new rider is okay. Unlike the estimated range you'll see on UberX trips, your offer card will show the exact amount you'll earn for every pool pickup. Every time a new rider is added to your pool trip, you will also see the additional amount you'll earn, as well as each rider's destination. Well, and it's interesting because before you wouldn't see every rider's destination. I picked up a pool trip over the weekend in Santa Monica on the passenger app, and the passenger was really cool. She showed me I had 3 different pickups. I didn't mean to take the pool ride, but I took it anyway, whatever. It showed every pickup and every drop off on the passenger app, which it never has shown on the Uber app. So if it's going to show that on the Uber app, I guess that's another good feature for the drivers. So again, every time a new rider is added to your pool trip, you will also see the additional amount you'll earn, as well as each rider's destination. Now, I'm not quite sure about how that's going to work, because we all know that when we do pool trips, Sometimes, I mean, they're only adding a couple of dollars to pick up that extra passenger, and Uber is taking everything, you know, and from the other one or two riders, and you're getting the base fare on the first pool requester, and then, you know, just little tidbits of money from anybody else you pick up. Hang on a second, let me check the chat. GoDonnie is just rambling on, man. Oh, and Donnie, I got something I'm gonna share with you later. I found somebody that does embroidering for hats and shirts and stuff like that. Outlaws of Rideshare, COM. So moving forward, the service fee on the Uber pool trips is based on factors such as whether you match with additional passengers and how much time on route is shared between the passengers. And they have a picture here. I don't think I can shrink it up, but this is basically what they're showing on their email. So you guys take a second to check that out. And then I'm assuming this is showing that it went from 25% down to 15% of the fee, because that's, I guess that's your first drop off, and then that's going to be your second one. So, and then promotions will now offer a lower Uber service fee only in participating cities. Previously, if you've drove in a city where, excuse me, Quest promotions were available, you were offered a payout when you completed a certain number of trips in a given period. Again, let's put this up there just so Uber cannot back out of anything. Okay. Starting next week, if you complete a certain number of Quest trips, you'll pay Uber a lower service fee for the remaining trips you take in that period, which means you can take home more of your earnings. For example, if you choose a 50-trip Quest and complete 75 trips, you'll get a lower service fee for the last 25 trips. So, hell, I guess the best way to do that one is to do a 40-trip Quest, and if you do, you know, 75 or 80 trips a week, then I guess you get 40 rides that are 15% instead of 25. No, that's actually not too bad. We're also replacing the consecutive trips promotion with a new promotion called Boost. So I guess the 3 consecutive ride bonus, the ones that I was speaking of earlier, which I think are bullshit anyway, are gone. So again, we're also replacing the consecutive trip promotion with a new promotion called Boost. With Boost, you'll have the chance to lower Uber's service fee by completing trips in certain locations during busy times of the day. Unlike consecutive trips, Boost won't have a minimum trip requirement. Any service fee reductions you receive through Boost will be in addition to those you get with Quest, but the service fee will never be less than 1% of the trip fare. Okay, I am going to put this definitely up and on the screen so that can definitely be seen, because now they're saying along with your 40 ride Quest, what the hell it is, now you've got this Boost that can literally lower the fee to 1%. If I'm reading this correctly, and you guys can see this too, if you're reading it and agree with me, that means that at some points the drivers, according to Uber, are going to get 99% of the fare. I don't buy it, because Uber, you know, that's Uber's getting a penny on the dollar. I'm okay. Again, like I said, I wanted to break these down. I'm not agreeing with that one at all. I mean, for the drivers, I think it's bitching, because we're getting 99% of that fare. So if they're paying $20, we're getting $19.80. Okay. I'm not going to bitch about that. Okay. If you drive in participating cities, we'll send you more details about how Quest will work on Friday, January 10th, and more about how Boost will work on Sunday, January 12th. Right there, people. Just so you can see that. It's right there. And this is on the This is on my Uber app. I'm reading this from their email on my Uber app. Okay. Okay. And then now we're getting into delivering with Uber Eats. This ought to be interesting too. I'm sorry again, guys. I want to see what you're saying in the chat, but I really want to get through this, and I really want to, hopefully help you guys out and get this cleared up. Lisa, real quick, are you still there, or did you leave? Is Lisa still? Is my moderator still in the house, in the room, on the chat? Lisa. I'm looking at the chat right now, guys. Can somebody? Okay, Donnie, I see you got a pinger. Okay, thanks, Lisa. I just wanted to double check to make sure that Donnie wasn't cussing everybody out, or Beacon or somebody. Anyway, James Campbell. I don't know if I caught you earlier. What is going on? All right, moving forward. And by the way, my moderator, Rideshare Lisa, check out her channel too. She's an up and coming YouTuber just like myself, and she's really moving forward with the delivery portion of the gig economy, and her videos are pretty good. I got to help her out with some thumbnails. There's a thumbnail right there. Oh, I can use my tattoo if you want, but anyway, okay, let's move on with this. So delivering with Uber Eats. We're launching similar features that provide upfront information on Uber Eats. When you deliver with Uber Eats, you'll see estimated earnings and trip information before you accept the trip. Okay. What do you think about that, Lisa? I would like to see your comment on that one. They're saying that if you're doing Uber Eats, then it's basically you're going to get an upfront total on that pickup and delivery before you actually take it. So what do you think? I'd like your opinion on that one, Lisa. Definitely like your opinion. Anyway, if you guys are not only doing rideshare, but a couple of them just to get away from some of these passengers. So again, Rideshare Lisa, check out our channel. Back to the Uber Eats, we're launching similar features that provide upfront information on Uber Eats. When you deliver with Uber Eats, you'll see estimated earnings and trip information before you accept the trip. Basically, sorry about that. Basically the same thing as doing the rideshare. You'll also be able to identify your preferred restaurants, and that information will be shared on the offer card, so you have even more info before you choose to accept a delivery trip. They actually have been doing that with Uber Eats for a few months. Okay, so Lisa's on the East Coast, in case I'm in California. So apparently in her market, this isn't something that they've already done, but in California, with the new AB-5, they're going to start promoting it out here now. So let's see. This thing keeps. I mean, there is so much stuff that is just on this. I don't know what to say. What is changing about the Uber's service fee? Will I know what service fee I'm paying for? Blah 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 blah. I mean, there is just a list of FAQs right here, or facts, and they just keep going and going and going and going and going. I mean, this is a huge change to Uber's platform, and there's the boost, and I'm assuming it's I'm sorry, what I'm seeing is backwards because I'm looking at it through the camera. So with that being said, overnight Uber decided, hey, you know what? Let's flip the switch and let's start paying the drivers. I'm going to sum it up in a nutshell. I've always been big on Lyft. I started with Lyft. I've got a 5-star rating with Lyft, over 2,500 plus rides, and I've been really happy with them. And I like their driver support. I like the feedback I've gotten from them. I started doing Uber when I started doing YouTube, and I wanted to see the differences, obviously, to get content too. And I can't say I dislike Uber. I prefer Lyft in some cases. However, on the weekends when I do go down to another area, like Santa Monica or Marina Del Rey or what have you, I prefer to actually drive on Uber only because Uber's surge than Lyft surge. And remember, Lyft surge will get you into that pink zone, and it ticks up and ticks up and ticks up. I did a video on it about a month ago, and you know, but if you get into that pink zone and you're right in the heart of that surge, you're never going to get to that maximum surge on Lyft because you're going to get a call before it maxes out. So, but Uber got pretty sneaky, and they were taking their little dollar amounts and they were putting them way up in the hills. Where if you wanted to get into that $20, get locked in on that $20 surge flat rate, then you had to drive 4 or 5 miles up canyon roads to get to that $20 marker and then drive all the way back down. That's just a waste of fuel. But so my take on this whole thing, and I'm just going to scroll through it again, with the I do like the, I guess this is the acceptance card or whatever. I like that idea to see that, okay, I know that this ride's going to pay me $15. And if there's a long pickup fee and what have you, it's all right up front in your face. Obviously, it's showing the star rating of the passenger and everything too. The total amount of time that the trip should take, and how far you are away from the actual customer to begin with. I'll put that up there one more time, see if it'll focus in or not. But you guys get the idea. So, but anyway, I like that idea. I think that's cool. And are people going to cherry pick? Yeah, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. Somebody, is going to take the ride. Everybody wants to get paid. We're not out there to drive our cars around and burn a bunch of fuel and waste our time. I like the fact that Uber is now paying its drivers 75% of the fare. I did a little live. I think it was in a live stream where no, I'm sorry, it was on my tips video. Where I said I was asking passengers, how much they thought Uber drivers or rideshare drivers made, and a lot of them thought it was, for the majority, they all thought it was definitely over 50%, and most were pretty shocked to find out that we were making 40. Sometimes, in some cases, I've seen it as 30%. But as far as the fee that Uber is going to take, not exceeding 25%, I'm down with that. I like that idea. I guess, and the 28% for having the XL, comfort, SUV, and luxury trips, 3%, 3 cents on the dollar, you're still getting paid more anyway. So I guess if you kind of look into it that way, it's definitely a positive thing. And in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, I think it's fair because they are offering, with the XLs and the luxury and stuff. That is a upper level or higher tier ride type anyway. So I'm actually going to agree with that one too, just because of the ride types. Trips to surge will now be calculated as multipliers of the trip fare. Again, I showed that. I am one that definitely prefers the multipliers over the flat rate surge. I'm not telling anybody to go chasing storm clouds, though. I hated the flat rate surge for the most part because, and I did a video on that too. It was called the surge tips and tricks, because kind of like Lyft, when you were a message has been received. When you were, hold on a second. Okay, I don't have a name on this, but somebody just shared this with me, so I'm going to pass it on. It looks like, oh, okay. So I just got a text from somebody. This is what I got. So this is what they're seeing. In whatever area, I don't know who this was and what market this is, but it's just showing a 7-minute trip. I do not want to show this person's phone number, but it shows where they're picking the person up and where that person is the drive time of 9 minutes, it looks like, and then their drop-off location. So thank you for that, by the way. Oh, okay. So Lisa, Rideshare Lisa, my moderator, this is what she's seeing right now. So I'm assuming, oh, this is for delivery. Okay. Well, then according to what I just read about Uber Eats, that's going to change, Lisa, and it's going to look like what the Rider app is showing, which is this. So instead of seeing your Uber Eats, this is what you should be seeing on your Uber Eats app within the next week or so, from what they're saying. So this is what we should be seeing on Rideshare and on the Uber Eats platform, and this is what Lisa was seeing right now on the East Coast. So that's a pretty dramatic change, and like I said, I'm gonna have to definitely agree with that one. Oh my God, the Rams aren't even in it, dude. Give it up. He always screws with me when I do my live streams with that damn flag. So let's get back onto this. So I'm gonna close it out, guys. I know it's I know it's the middle of the week, and I do appreciate you guys coming in at 6 o'clock. It's 6:30 here in California. It's 9:30, and you guys still have some time to drive. And I don't want to, take up too much of your time. But so as far as such an asshole. I'm really sorry. So, do I like the upfront pricing? Yes, I do. Are people going to cherry pick? Yes, they are. And you know what? I'm going to take every one of them. It doesn't matter, unless it's something I just can't do because it's like going to take me, a 3-hour trip, which at 2 o'clock in the morning, obviously I'm going to let that one go because I want to get home and get some sleep. I really like this idea. And if they do this with Uber Eats, I think it is definitely a thumbs up. 25% for Uber, 75% for the drivers. I think we would all agree that that is absolutely palatable. I like it. I think that it should have been like that a long time ago. Like I said, towards the beginning of this, I think that if Uber had done this and Lyft had done this last year when all the drivers were doing the protesting, then in my opinion, they wouldn't be in court right now because the drivers would have gotten a reasonable amount of pay for what we're doing, and it wouldn't be where it's at now. Trips with surge will now be calculated as multipliers. I'm giving that one a thumbs up because I personally like the multipliers, especially in my area. Now, I'm sure when people are taking a look at this live stream and watching this over, I'll get my I'll get my little trolleys in there that say the multipliers suck. But it depends on your market. If you're in a metropolitan area, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, where Geo's at, San Francisco, New York City, multipliers can be kind of a downplay because you're not getting long trips, you're just running around the city, but they're still in play. So you're still gonna get more because the multipliers are gonna pay you more for the ride. So in my market, I am definitely giving that one a thumbs up as far as the multipliers versus the flat rate surge. However, in other markets, it may not be as beneficial for the short trips. Again, just my take on that one. Rerouting, if the ride takes a little more or takes you a little further, it'll reroute, it'll recalculate, and it shows you the additional amount you're going to get. That's a pretty nice little feature too. So when it reroutes, like I said, freeway closures, maybe it's snowing, maybe the roads are closed, what have you, it's going to show you when it reroutes you that you're going to make an additional amount, or if you take a shortcut, which a lot of us used to do to get that ride over with, don't take the shortcut anymore. Take the long way around if you can. Take the long way around as often as possible, and keep that thing rerouting and adding up into your ride fare. So definitely like that. Pool trips are, and I'm glad I got my channel set. This is not for kids. Pool trips, and everyone says it, and I will absolutely agree, is like putting a bucket of shit in the backseat of your car and waiting for somebody to throw a stick of dynamite in it and just have it blow up. I mean, you can have, somebody who's completely sober, somebody who's totally wasted, and who knows, but it's just a hodgepodge of clashing personalities. And I still would tell people to stay away from pool rides if you can, but I do like what they're doing. And the fact that they're going to add, they're going to show you what each additional rider is, what you're going to get paid for each additional rider. And I'll probably do another video on that once I actually see how this works. Promotions to lower the service fee. I definitely like that one. I do not see it ever going down to 1%. But like it says right here, Quest and Boost can lower the service fee to 1%. I do not see that happening. I don't know what you would have to do or how many rides you would have to do to get to that. But 99% is a whole hell of a lot better than 75%, which is a whole hell of a lot better than 40%, which is what we were getting to begin with. So, and then the Uber Eats changing their card to show you the total thing too, is I'm going to give them a thumbs up on that. So you got the pool rides, so you got 5 out of 6. But again, this is what they're saying. We all know that Uber has spewed out a lot of crap in the past, and we don't know what they're actually going to do. That's why I wanted to do this live stream, and I wanted to put everything out on the damn internet so it can be seen. I really don't want to tear into this that much more. Like I said, I'm sure you guys want to go out and drive and make your money. Are there any? I'm gonna check out the. Let me check out the stream now here real quick. So, okay, guys. You guys have any questions? I mean, any comments now that I can actually take a look at the chat and see what's going on? I mean, let me do it this way. Does anybody want to hear about what's changing about Uber's service fee or anything on here? I'm going to scroll it up. If anybody sees anything they want me to open up, I'll open it up. So as I scroll this very slowly so you guys can read it, I'm looking at the chat. Thanks, Rick. Don't rush because of him. All right. So these are the obviously the getting a little deeper here. Rick, I got a good 12 hours. Man, I'm not doing that stuff, whatever. So any questions? I'll open up one of these tabs if anybody's interested. And well, I guess what I'll do is, okay, let's do it this way. There's 5 people watching. This will be easy. What's changing about Uber service fees? Type in 1 if you want me to open it. Type in 2 if you don't. What's changing about Uber's service fee? 1 for yes, 2 to skip it. There's 5 people watching. Rick reviews. Oh, that looked awkward. Well, nobody's responding, so I'm not going to read it. All right, next one. Will I know what service fee I'm paying to Uber before the trip? Anybody? Going once. Going twice. You want to hear everything. Dude, you're going to have me here for hours. I need more people in the room. All right. Okay. Lisa says no. Okay. Let's see. What is the service fee and why does Uber charge the driver? Oh, come on, Lisa. Oh, God. Got a woman in the room. She can't make up her mind. 1 is yes. 2 is no. Yeah, I know. She's confused, Rick. What? You know what she's going to do? She's going to put up 3 exclamation points and then tell you to read between the lines, right? Okay, let's see. How will this change the fare structure? How will this change in the fare structure affect my earnings? You know what? I'm going to open this one up. Okay, so how will this change in the fare structure impact my earnings? For non-pool trips, you will continue to earn based on the actual time and distance of the trip. Time and distance rates haven't changed, and you will continue to earn as normal. Uber service fee will not exceed 25% for Uber X trips and will not exceed 28% for XL, Comfort, SUV, and Luxury. So basically, I think this is just going back and kind of I guess it's like a hyperlink back into what we were just going over. So there you go. Okay, here it is. What is a boost promotion? Let's see what this one says. Boost promotion. Okay, saying yes. Okay, so we're going to go with what is the boost promotion? The boost promotion will allow you to earn a lower service fee on trips in busy times and places. The promotion times, locations, and service fees and service fee reductions will be outlined in a weekly email. Okay, so that tells me that they're going to anticipate where they are and aren't going to do these this boost thing. It's going to be outlined in a weekly email. So I guess they're going to choose which areas are going to have this and which aren't for the next week. That's just my take on it. Yeah. So the promotion times, locations, service fee reductions will be outlined in a weekly email and will also appear on your map and offer card when active. So I guess it's going to kind of be like Surge and just float around. And if you just happen to drive into an area where it is, it'll show up on your app. This will replace the consecutive trip promotion. Thank God, I hate that thing. In which terms require you to complete 3 trips in a row during specific times, and so it's basically the same thing, but they're not calling it a consecutive trip bonus now. Now they're calling it their boost. So you're still going to have to do a certain amount of trips, and the more trips you do, obviously, the lower the fee goes. So they're kind of renaming it, but I still think it's kind of a better idea because I'd rather work a few more rides to get that lower service fee than 3 rides to get $5. So, oh, you know what? Here's a good question. Why is Uber making these changes? Why, Uber? Why is Uber making these changes? Because they fucked up in the first place. And now they're trying to get the drivers to turn around and go, hey, you know what? We want them. We're losing people. The features are in response to feedback from drivers and the passing of the laws in California. There you go. A little too late, Uber. Some changes will take some getting used to. On balance, we are confident that they will improve your experience on our platform. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Uber has made some major changes. And at least here in California, I agree with 5 out of 6 of them. But it will be interesting to see what really happens. Because once this gets out of court, it's going to change. And in closing, this is what's on Lyft's app right now. We are changing the amount of time you can drive from 14 hours to 12 hours, which I mentioned way at the beginning of the stream. In California, you're only allowed to drive, I believe, 12 hours a day anyway. So that's it. I'm not even going to bother getting into that. So, oh, and another thing, you're going to love this one. This is how bad the market is getting. These are my look how much I get if I refer a new driver to Lyft. I get $25 for every driver that completes 100 rides in 30 days. and they're guaranteed $750. So if they do 100 rides, they're going to make $750, and $25 to refer somebody. Sorry, ain't going to happen. But again, this is LYFT. So that's it. I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for showing up. Lisa, thanks for moderating. Rick Reviews, got you. Go Donnie, thanks for showing up. Everybody that was in the house, I just, I really appreciate you. Nick, Rick, Lisa, Go Donnie, Noob, Forensic Noob, thank you very much. That's about all I got for this one, and I'm going to hit the road. I'm going to do a lot of screenshots tonight, and I'll either do a video or another live stream tomorrow, and we'll update. So again, everybody, thank you so much for joining. And where's your nude first in the house? Yeah, I know, man. Rick, what? I don't know what's happening, Rick. You're lagging, brother. I even actually put it out that I was going to do a live stream, and of course I screwed that up. It's probably still. I got to go to my analytics and remove it. It's probably got a live stream in queue, waiting for me to go live again. So anyway, everybody went to the other live stream. They're waiting for me to show up. So I hope that answered some of your questions. I hope it was, I hope I was able to break it down a little more. But again, 5 out of 6 thumbs up on that one. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna run both platforms tonight. I'm gonna see exactly what's going on, and I'll get a lot of screenshots. So if it's worth it, I'll just do another live, because I don't have any editing software yet, and it'll just be easier for me to show the screenshots. So again, everybody, for stopping by. We were under an hour, so that's pretty good considering all the information that's been put out there. Harry Campbell, Rideshare guy, or at the Rideshare Hub, I forgot which one it was, did a really good video earlier today. He raced through this thing, so I wanted to kind of break it down a little more and show everybody what was going on. So Lisa, thanks for moderating for me. Everybody, Rick Reviews, thanks for showing up. Go Donnie, Game Noob, everybody that joined the chat or the live stream, thank you very much. And until next time, as always, be safe, be professional, keep it real, and drive on. Let's see what happens next. See ya.